Hello students, welcome to the next lecture on the probability and stat. Today we will discuss about the covariance and its various property. Myself Dr. Garg, working in the School of Mathematics, Thapar Institute. You can simply contact me either of my email IDs, else follow this link for finding the various videos on probability and statistics. So what is the objective of this lecture is we will discuss the term covariance, which is the most important property of the statistical measure, which are used to compare the relationship between the multiple variables. So definitely it has at least of the two variables must be there in order to understand the covariance. Or in terms of the probability theory and statistics, this covariance is the measurement of joint variability of the two random variable. What is the meaning of the variabilities? That is the variance. So that is, it is used to measure the variance, means there is a spread that is called as the dispersion. So this covariance is basically the measurement of the dispersions between the two different random variables. It is about the degree of which the random variable varies similarly. Whether they vary similarly or dissimilarly, that we will see the impact of covariance. How you can define the covariance? If you have the two jointly distributed random variable x and y with a finite second movement. What is the meaning of the second movement is? That is, expected value of the x square should be finite. Then we can define the covariance like of this. That is the dispersion from the mean of the variable x, dispersion of the mean y from here, and we can find the expected value of this. It is denoted by COV, or we can also denote it by either as a sigma xy or simply as a sigma of y. These are one form of the covariance are there. Another form is that we can simply open this bracket. Once you open like of this, now since it is a x bar and this is the y bar, which is a constant value, now we can open this one here. Now you can easily see I can write this value here. This y bar is my constant, it can be taken as the outside, so this is my x. Similarly, here is x bar is constant, I can take this is here, and in this case both are constant, which can taken outside. This is nothing but my 1. Now what is the e of x? This is nothing but my x bar, this is nothing but my y bar. Expected value of 1 is nothing but my 1. So clearly says that this and this will be cancelled out, so the resultant expression will be here. So this is nothing but expected value of x, this is expected value of y. So this is the second form of the covariance. You can define the covariance either as of this form, this is my equation number 2, or this as equation number 1, both have the same meaning. What is the meaning of the covariance? So this is the formula of the covariance, how you can compute, but what is the actual meaning of that? So the covariance between the two variables x and y indicates how the values of the x and y moves relative to each other. What is the meaning of that? If you increase the value of the x, what is the nature of the y? It is a increases, it is a decreases, or is a constant. Similarly, if you increase the value of y, what is the nature of the x? Either decrease, increase, or constant. And if you decrease the value of the x, what is the nature of the y? Is a decrease, increase, and so on. So the first term is, if you look about the relation between x and y, if you increase the value of the x, if I increase the value of the x, and if it increase the value of y also, if the larger the value of x tends to happen the larger the value of y, then it means that it's a positive correlation like of this. You can see when you increase the value of the x, the value of y are also be increases. That means this x minus x bar and y minus y bar is the positive, and we have seen in our last lecture that whenever x is my positive, then the corresponding expected value is also be the positive. So this number is my positive, so in that case the covariance is my positive. So once the covariance is positive, it means in the increase the value of x, the corresponding value of y is increases, that's called as the positive correlated vectors are. Or if you decrease the value of the x, y is also be decreases, then again it is a positive correlated. On the other hand, when you increase the value of the x from here, then the corresponding value of the y are decreases, then it means this is called as the negative correlated. Or you can see, we all know whenever x is less than 0, then the expected value are also be less than 0. This expected value is in terms of the covariance. So whether the covariance is the positive or negative, that is the important thing is the sign. So the sign of the covariance represents the tendency in the linear relationship. Remember that they are talking only on the linear relationship. They are not talking about the non-linear. We will see the example in the later on. Whatever the magnitude of the covariance, that is not an easy to identify. Why? Because they are not normalized. We can see that we have defined the covariance is simply the expected values of the things, but they are not normalized. If we can easily see that if one of the value is 0, this term is itself a 0. Hence, it depends only on the magnitude of the variables. So, but if you want to normalize this, that is the normalized version of the covariance is called as the correlation coefficient. Once it's a normalized, so then we can see this will give the magnitude of the strength of the linear relation. So always remember that whether it's a correlation or it's a covariance, they are talking about the linear relation only, not for the non-linear. But once we have seen that this is a normalized version, then what is the difference between the covariance and the correlation? The one difference is that there's a normalization of that, but what is the physical difference between them? So first of all, the covariance measures the direction of the relationship between the two variables. What is the meaning of the direction is, if axis increases, what is the nature of the y, whether it's increase or decrease. While the correlation measures the strength of the relationship. Why? Because it is a normalizing the factor. Both the covariance and the correlations are positive when both the variables move in the same direction. So look at that, the same direction means if x increases, y also increases, or if x decreases, y also decreases. Both have the meaning of same direction. On the other hand, when they are negative, then they are in the opposite direction, like of this. If I say x is my 1, 2, 3, 4, that's increasing, and if I say y is my 10, 9, 7 and minus of 3, you can see x is increases, y is decreases, that's the opposite side. So it means when you can find the covariance of between the x and y by using this formula, xy minus ex ey, you will get the answer as negative of this. So that means they are negative correlation. Moreover, the correlation coefficient is my normalized one, so its value lies between -1 to +1, and that is, we all know that correlation is denoted by a rho or sometimes it's a r, which are lies between -1 to +1. And what is the meaning of the +1? It is a highly positive correlation. And what is the negative means? It is a negative, highly negative, called as the perfect negative correlation or called as the perfect positive correlation. That means the extreme value represents a strong relationship between them. On the other hand, what is the range of the covariance? It lies between -1 to +1. Why? Because we see that the covariance is nothing but the expected values. And what is the range of the expected value? Range is by -infinity to +infinity. That's why this is nothing but -infinity +infinity. What is the difference between the covariance and the variance? That's again very simple. First of all, both the terms covariance and the variance are used to measure the distribution of the point. Why? Because both are measurement of the dispersion. The only basic difference between them is variance is used only for the single variable, like variance of the x, while the covariance are used for the more than or two variables are there. Whenever there are the two variables x and y, then we will always measure, if you want to measure the spread between them, we will use the covariance. But if you have only the one variable, then we are using the covariance. Covariance measures the direction of the relationship, as we define that. What is the direction is, whether the covariance positive means both the variables tend to either high or low at the same time, and the negative correlation means if one is high, the other must be low side. What does the covariance 0 mean? What is the meaning of the covariance 0? So we have seen what is the meaning of the covariance positive. What is the meaning of that? If x is increases, y is increases. If x is decreases, y is decreases. What is the meaning of that covariance is negative? It means if x is increases, y decreases, or if x decreases, y is increases. That means they are of the opposite sign, then the covariance is my negative. If they are the same sign, then the covariance is positive. But what does the mean of the 0 covariance? So the 0 covariance means there is no linear relationship between the variable. Remember, the word is linear. There is no linear relationship between the variables. In other words, you can see when you increase the value of the x to be very high, then it may either as a high or it may as a low, like of this. If I say x and y, then the graph of this will be either of like this way. You can see from this to this the values are decreases, after that it's increasing. Or you can say if we increase the value of the x, y is my constant. So if y is constant, that means the correlation is my 0. Or remember that when the covariance is 0, it doesn't mean that there is no linear relationship between them. That is, converse is not true. If the covariance is 0, there is no linear relationship between them. But this is true only for the linear relationship. It may have, there is a non-linear relationship between them. So it is possible that a variable may have non-linear relationship between them. For example, if I just consider the two variable x and y, if I just try to find this value here, what is the expected value of the x? So how you find the expected value of the x? That is summation of x divided by 5. So what is the sum of them? That is 0 by 5 is my 0. Similarly, what is the expected value of the y? That is nothing but my 10 divided by 5 is my 2. So we can find the expected value of x, expected value of y here. How you find the value of the xy? So we can take x into y, that is my -8, -1, 0, 1 and 8. So what is the expected value of the xy? So we can easily find the expected value of the xy. It is nothing but my summation of xy divided by 5. What is the sum of this? It's a 0. So the mean is my 0. If you substitute here 0, 0 and 2, answer is my 0. So what is the meaning of that? The covariance 0 means there is no linear relationship between them. Is there any non-linear relationship between them? If you look about this x and y, you can clearly see that y is nothing but my x square, which is a non-linear relation. So one of the most important factor is covariance 0 means there is no linear relationship. It may have the non-linear relationship, which you can see here. What is the meaning of the uncorrelated and what is the relationship between the independents? Random variable whose covariance is 0, this implies x and y are uncorrelated. That's the meaning, that's the definition of the uncorrelated. But remember that if x and y are independent, then the covariance is 0, but converse is not true. But you can see that proof is very simple. We all know what is the meaning of the independent. Once they are independent, then we can define like of this. Expected value of xy is nothing but here. So what is the meaning of that? Covariance is 0. But converse is not true. But converse is not generally true. It means when you say the covariance is 0, it doesn't mean that they are independent. It doesn't mean that. So we again provide an example. Either you can consider same example where we have considered y is equal to x square in the previous case. Again we can see the covariance is 0, but they are not independent. They are dependent on each other. If you consider another example, let's say x is my uniformly distribution. So what is the PDF of the uniform distribution? This is 1 by 2 whenever x lies between -1 to 1 and else is a 0. Can you find the expected value of the x? You can easily find that from -1 to 1 x of fx. So if you substitute the value, what will happen? X 1 by 2 is outside, half. So that's an odd function. So integration of the odd function is my 0. So therefore, clearly says that they are dependent on each other. But if you find the covariance, what is the y? Y is nothing but x square. So what is the x square is? -1 to 1 x cube fx. What is the e of x? Is half of x. And what is the x square is? We will find that. So what is that? Half is outside. Integration of x cube, that's an odd function. So the integration is my 0. This is again odd function and 0. So what is the answer of this? 0 minus 0 is my 0. So clearly say that the covariance is my 0, but there is not independent. They are dependent on each other. So in that case, the relationship is a non-linear. So always remember, covariance 0 means there is no linear relationship between them. However, if you have the two variables which are jointly normal distribution, that is called as the bivariate distribution. Once you have the two bivariate distribution, then uncorrelated implies that the independence. But it is not true for the individual normally distributed. Means if x is my normal distribution, y is normal distribution, and if you find that the covariance of them is 0, it doesn't mean that x and y are independent. But if it is a bivariate distribution, it does implies that. How you can define the covariance for the complex random variable? That's again very simple. If you have the two complex random variable x and y, then instead of this we have to take the complex conjugate. That is, instead of the e of xy, it's a e of y bar and y complex conjugate, and this is my here. Similarly, you can define the covariance matrix for the real random variable. What is a covariance matrix? Is when you consider the more than two random variables, like of this. When you consider the m are my jointly distribution random variable with a finite second order, then we can define the autocovariance matrix, also called as the variance covariance matrix, or simply called as the covariance matrix. It is denoted by sigma. This is read as sigma, or called as the covariance x comma x, which is defined like here. This is the definition. Since it consists of the n vectors, so we can use as a transpose of that. So it is nothing but x transpose of that. Or in more general, if you have the n vectors, m vector you can write like this, x1 and x1, that's the same thing. So we can write variance of x1, this is nothing but my covariance of x1, x1. Covariance of x1 and x1 is nothing but my variance. What is the covariance of x1 and x2? That is my here covariance of x1 and xm is this, and so on. So, and since this is the matrix related to the covariance, that's why this is called as the covariance matrix. So once you have the covariance matrix, which is denoted by sigma in terms of here, and if you consider any of the matrix A, then you can define the covariance matrix of the product AX is written like here. So as per the definition, we can define like of AX. This is my, I can substitute here is my AX. What is a B transpose? We all know that this is nothing but the B transpose of A transpose. We can write like here, and we can expand like this. Now you can see this is my real. Again, we can open this bracket. We can write like this, because A and A transpose are my given matrix of this. Now we can see I can take A as a pre-constant common, and this is there. What is the pending is this one. What is the expression of this? This is nothing but my covariance matrix of the X. So it means if you have any of the matrix A, then you can write the covariance matrix directly corresponding to this one. What are the various properties of the covariance? So we can start with the various properties. The first property is very trivial, that is covariance with the itself is nothing but the variance. What is that? If you simply take y is equal to x in this formula, you will get the as of here. This is the x into x, that is the x square. This is nothing but my covariance is. What is the second property? That is the variance is a special case of the covariance. If you have any of the constant vector, then covariance will be 0. We all know that what is the variance of the constant value? That's a 0. So what you can do, if you consider y as a in this, and in this, you can see what is the here. This is a is my constant, which is outside this. What is the expected value of the a? That's a constant. It will be cancelled out. The answer is 0. The covariance is a symmetric, that is the covariance of xy is nothing but my yx. That's a trivial option. You can see like here, which can be written like of yx and xy, which is same are. Covariance is nothing but the additive also are there. We can start with the definition. This is my x, this is my y, this is the xy, x of y. We can open this bracket, we can write like this. Now if you again open this, which is nothing but it can be written as e of x into e of y. What is that? This is nothing but my covariance of x comma z, and this is nothing but covariance of y comma z. That's required proof. Again, the covariance of the there is a change in the origin and the change in the scale are there. That's again a very simple. Consider this is x, this is y. What is that? This is nothing but my AB of xy. This is A is common, x. In this case, B is outside. This is y. Why? Because we all know that expected value of the AX is A times expected value of x, provided A is my real number. So we can open this, and you can see again now AB is a common, which is nothing but my covariance here. Similarly for this side, we can start from the here, or else we can start with the definition of this. That's again very easy. So we can open this expected value of x plus a. This is nothing but expected value of x plus a. So you can see this a and a cancel out, b and b cancel out. What is the remaining side? This is nothing but my covariance of x1. So based on these two properties, we can simply very easily deduce that, like of this, we can see there is no impact of the change in the origin. So you can see what is the meaning of that. That's a change in the origin. So because we can see there is no impact, there is no effect on the change of the origin, and there is the impact of the scalar. So you can see there is a plus b, so that is nothing but here. By using this property, we can see this is nothing but ABR. Same for here, this is 1 upon sigma x, 1 upon sigma y is nothing but my AB, which can be written here. And what is that? This is the change in the scale property, that is independent of this, which is simply derived from these two parameters. That's again a very simple. This is a same are there. What is that? You can simply say this is x of x, that is a variance of x of y, that is a AD of covariance. This is the y of x, because yx and xy are same, so I can written as a BC of covariance, and this is my y of y, this is nothing but the variance of this. So we can start from here, we can open the bracket. Now we can take the pair of this is the x square, and I can take this into this is again the x square, and right here. Similarly for this, what is that? This is nothing but my variance of x, this is the variance of y, this is the covariance of x and y is the required proof. Same, you can easily do that. You can see this is the x of z, this is a covariance of AC, x of v, you can see a of d covariance, y and w, this is the covariance, y and v is a covariance of that you can easily derive as the similar one. What is the property of the inner product? Covariance relation with the inner product. There are many properties which are covariant. What is, if A is your inner product space, then we all know x comma x is always be greater than 0. We all know that x comma x is 0 if and only if x is my 0, and this inner product space is my symmetric and satisfy the triangular inequality. So that we will see, we derive that the covariance are symmetric. Positive definite, we already derived that covariance of x comma y is nothing but the variance, and variance is always a positive value. And the covariance of x comma x is 0 implies x is my constant. We all derive that covariance of this is my 0 provided a is my constant. So once is a constant, so it means x is my constant. Also it's a bilinear, we already derived this relation, that means here. So these three properties refine that the covariance is nothing but the inner product space. So you can see the properties implies covariance to define the inner product space over the quotient vector spaces are there. So once you can obtain the subspace of the random variable having the finite variance, then this covariance define the inner product space, which are differ by the constant values. So that's a simple covariance and its property about this lecture. We hope you can simply learn these many things. You can simply like, share and comment this video with your friends. Till then, best of luck students. Happy learning.